Hello and welcome to Watch Me Movie. My name is Ryan and today we are watching episode 4 of Hannibal. It seems like this show's really gotten into the flow of things now, so I'm excited to see what happens in this episode. Thank you to everyone who keeps returning and watching these reactions to the episodes of Hannibal. And thanks to Sophie for recommending it in the first place. I'm really into this show and I'm glad we started watching it. Just before we get into this episode, if you appreciate this reaction, consider giving a thumbs up to the video, subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and leaving your thoughts down in the comments. I do take movie and TV show suggestions from the comments, but if you'd like a vote on which one of those that we watch next, and you have a Twitter account, consider giving us a follow over there. As soon as we've got enough followers over there, I'll take some of the suggestions from the comments, and we could start doing some voting on polls to see what comes next. With all that said, let's get straight into Hannibal.
Sometimes at night I leave the lights on in my little house, walk across the flat fields. And when I look back from a distance, the house is like a boat on the sea. It's really the only time I feel safe.
You stood in the breathing silence of Garrett Jacob Hobbs' home. You could sense his madness.
I tried so hard to know Garrett Jacob Hobbs.
How did you feel seeing Marisha Shaw impaled in his outlet room?
Guilty. Because I felt like I killed her. I got so close to him. I felt like we were doing the same things at different times of day.
Even after he was dead? Like you were becoming him?
I'm not Garrett Jacob Hobbs, Dr. Leck.
It's like Hannibal's always trying to find a connection as well as everyone else, like, is always looking for someone who has the same urges as himself. Wow.
Table has been set. I wasn't invited. I am the guest of honor. If you don't eat your growing foods, you won't get any dessert. No one leaves the table. The Turner family is executed simultaneously. I shoot Mrs. Turner.
What do you see, Will?
Family values.
Is it like Mrs. Turner's ex-husband or something? What's Hannibal up to? Just made a whole lot of new friends.
All right, Karen, pillars of the community, 3 children.
-1.
Jesse disappeared last year. Possible runaway, probable abduction.
When was Jesse abducted?
A little over a year ago.
I can hide what happened to me. All I need is a scarf.
What happened to you isn't normal. You have to find someone to relate to in this experience.
Up a glass of beer at Hannibal's place.
Nothing wrong with a little self-medication, right, Doctor?
Perhaps it's time Abigail's released from clinical treatment. She should be out in the world.
You stepping in as a surrogate would only be a crutch forward.
I defer to the passion of my esteemed colleague.
Let me guess. Only child. Family friction is usually a catalyst for personality development.
All the victims have defensive wounds except for Mrs. Turner.
There's forgiveness.
What kind of victim forgives the killer at the moment of death?
It's his son.
A mother.
Tell me about your mother.
Never knew her.
An interesting place to start.
Tell me about your mother.
Both my parents died when I was very young.
Gonna say, it's weird to think about Hannibal's mum.
I think we'll discover you and I have a great deal in common with Abigail.
Something so foreign about family. I never connected to the concept. I connected to family of strays. And thank you for feeding them while I was away.
I was referring to Abigail. What grudge was Mrs. Turner's killer harboring against her?
Motherhood.
A perversion of it.
That was an interesting dialogue between them both, mixing questioning Will about his past with questioning him about that new case.
What am I about to put in my mouth?
Rabbit.
You should have hopped faster.
Yes, he should have.
Nocturne in it. Chopin in the background.
He needs an anchor, Jack.
I did sort of drift away to the music in the last scene and I didn't really concentrate on that bit of dialogue, but it's mad that they're at least implying that he's feeding all these people to the police captain guy, Lawrence Fishburne.
How did Jesse Turner turn out? No one's seen him in over a year.
He'd be 4.5 feet, 80 pounds tops.
As much as sexual behavior.
Okay, class dismissed. Everyone out. What did I just say?
Give him half a chance, Lawrence. Jesus.
We found a match to a set of prints we pulled from the Turner home. They belong to a 13-year-old boy from Reston, Virginia. Another missing kid. We're ready to go when you are, and you're ready to go now, so let's go.
Jesus.
Shooting her once wasn't enough. First bullet travels beneath her scalp to its final resting place, base of her neck.
And it's...
Shot her again. Put her out of her misery. Different gun.
So who is our additional corpse?
I'd say Connor Frist.
Connor couldn't put his panic back in a bottle.
Disowned him. Don't be sad about Connor.
I guess I couldn't make him understand. What happened to your family?
We're her family.
Are you feeling okay, sweetie pie? You can only have one family.
Wow, that is the creepiest concept for a killer I've seen in a long time. There's something very unsettling about that.
C.J. Lincoln disappeared 6 months before his mother's murder. Well, he's older. He's been out in the world.
There we go. Oh, honey. I'll pay for the napkins.
Don't worry.
Oh, gee.
Napkins.
Feeling paternal, Will?
Aren't you?
Yes. Tell me, why are you so angry?
I'm angry about those boys. I can't give them back what they just gave away.
Family. Abigail's lost too. And perhaps it's our responsibility.
I don't think I'm allowed to leave. Where are we going?
My home.
Besides anything else, Hannibal's wardrobe on this is impeccable.
Tell me about your bad dreams.
Marissa was sending me picture texts, crime scene photos of Nicholas Boyle.
How you left him.
I just have to get used to lying.
Only have to lie about one thing.
And Ellen would just get used to what I did. Does that make me a sociopath?
It makes you a survivor.
Imagine having Hannibal Lecter as your father figure.
I want to work for the FBI.
I would certainly feel safer if you were in the FBI.
Do you have to be a cop first to be FBI?
What if it weren't so painful anymore? To think of him. No more bad dreams, Abigail.
Shroom tea for that girl.
Do you trust me?
Bangor, Maine, Stamford, Connecticut, and recently
He doesn't need a laser pointer from there. Could use his finger.
There's a pattern. Less to do with geography than psychology. Capture bonding. You bond with your captor, you survive.
What were those eggs?
Just like we talked about.
Dr. Bloom said this was okay.
Not at all. We often have a difference of opinion. You and I will have many secrets. I want to give you your power back. Let me be your guide.
Sausage and eggs was the last meal I was having with my parents.
I know. It's also the first meal you're having with me.
Yeah.
It's not just C.J. Lincoln. It's a woman, a mother figure. I think she's looking to form a family. She wants these children to burst with love for her.
Oh, my God.
It's a pretty horrifying concept. The kid returns, but brings a killer with him.
You're home now. Put the gun down.
She's stupid for coming out that door.
Please.
Short lady.
I wasn't gonna do it. you have a family?
I don't have any children, no.
And you don't know what it's like.
My patient out of the hospital without my permission. Hannibal's shockingly rude.
You have every right to be upset with her. She's in the dining room. Experienced a bit of anxiety, so I gave her a sedative. I only gave her half a Valium, but she may be a little hazy.
Hi, Dr. Bloom.
Hello, Abigail.
You were expecting me?
This looks suspiciously like the ending scene in the film Hannibal.
Are you hungry?
I could eat.
Abigail, what do you see?
I see family.
Think it's too late for us to have kids?
It is for me.
Is that a first we've seen of his wife? Okay, and that was episode 4 of Hannibal. I enjoyed this episode, it was another good one. It felt like a bit more of a sort of setting up episode for things to maybe escalate in the next episode. The thing I like about the show is, obviously it's still introducing these new killers, but the characters are still very much suffering the after effects of the first killer, the Shrike, still. So, I mean, it's probably kind of realistic. Like, I imagine that the behavioral science unit deals with a lot of people one after another, a lot of cases. So it's not as if once they've solved the case, that they're necessarily gonna drag it out for weeks, finding out every detail of the backstory of that case. They're just gonna move on to the next most prominent or urgent killer. At first, I wasn't sure about that aspect of the show, but I like the fact that it's just keeping introducing these people. And what's interesting about it is that we see the long-term lasting effects even after these people are caught. Like they seem to get caught sort of straight away as soon as they're introduced, but the effects of what they've done and the effects of them getting caught seems as if it's going to last on and have a lasting effect on the psyches of the main characters. And I kind of get how it's doing that now. I think when I was first watching it, I was sort of approaching it like Dexter, a serial killer that lasted a full season and really got involved in Dexter's life and stuff. I think I was expecting it to be more like that. But now that I've got the feel of this show, I can really appreciate the writing and the way that they're structuring the plot. I was quite nervous when Hannibal set up that dinner scene with the girl who was drugged. It did seem reminiscent of the Ray Liotta scene at the end of the film Hannibal. But I like the way that Hannibal is always sort of working at something, like is constantly manipulating his surroundings and calculating how things are going to play out and stuff like that. I like that about his character. And yeah, like I said, I enjoyed this episode. It did feel a little bit slower than the last one, but maybe it's setting it up for the next one. So yeah, that was episode 4. If you appreciated this reaction, then consider leaving a thumbs up on the video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. And as usual, leave your thoughts in the comments down below so we can have a little discussion about this episode. Follow us on Twitter so you can have a say in what we watch next. After all that, all that's left to say is thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.